through static glow, Morse code tapping in the night, underneath the stars so bright, connecting folks from far and wide, waves in the air they provide, call signs echo through the ether, let's get closer, let's go deeper. Amateur radio roundtable so fine, join the chat and realign. From HF to VHF, we're all here, let's make the distance disappear. Twist the knob, find a friend.
All right. Good evening to everybody out there that's tuned in tonight. You're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, amateur radio, shortwave, electronics. We're so glad you're with us tonight. And if you're out there listening on the radio tonight, on world famous shortwave station WBCQ, we'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. tom@w5kub.com. Tell us where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station tonight. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you will, hit the subscribe button there. We're on X tonight, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook tonight. So I don't know if you have a subscribe button on all those or not, but hey, look for that subscribe button. And you may be just on YouTube watching. So the subscribe button should be down in the bottom right, I believe. Hit that, hit the like, hit the notify button. It really helps us out a whole lot. And we'd like to invite you to join our Facebook group. We've got a great ham radio Facebook group of over 14,000 people. And just do a search for W5KUB. W5KUB is all you need to type in on Facebook, and it'll take you right to our site, and we'll approve you as a member there. Several things going on tonight. We got the normal staff here with us tonight, and hey, we're going to talk about FreeFest tonight, Memphis FreeFest tonight. I'm going to explode a balloon tonight on the show. We got some Hamfest announcements coming up. I won a prize. I won a prize at FreeFest. I'll show you what I won later. And we're going to talk about probably the launch of w5kub-119 to try to make it around the world again. We'll probably launch Saturday. We'll talk more about that later. All right, let's see who all is here tonight. Looky there. We've got Brett in there. We've got Glenn in there. Hey, let's start with Glenn tonight. How you doing, Glenn?
Doing good. Had some fun coming home from the Hamfest. Swung by the house afterwards to get some work done, and as I was leaving to get gas, the alternator died.
Oh no, man!
And believe it or not, I was near the house, so I swung by the AutoZone over there. Of course, they verified it was the alternator, and I was like, well, I'm kind of stuck for the night. And they said, no, we got a mobile mechanic we can call. And called, and believe it or not, he showed up at 9:30 and swapped out my alternator. And I was on the road by about 10:30.
My goodness.
So, I mean, absolutely amazing on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
got home. And, after that, everything's been going okay. But got some news today. As we mentioned last week, I got a contract on the house. Well, of course, the inspector found things that had to be fixed and whatnot, including a very interesting thing, Tom, that I had never known about it. Turns out that the breaker box that was installed with my house it wasn't recalled, but it needs to be replaced. The entire outside breaker box is a manufacturer that is bad news.
right?
Z something. I could look it up, but it's a Zinsco
Oh
panel.
yeah, that's made in Albania.
Yeah, and it's
Oh
going to have
yeah.
to be
Yeah,
replaced. So I got to do that. But we made our counter offer on the repairs and stuff to the buyers, and they accepted it late last night. So closing is on. The house is
good.
on. It's going to cost me a little bit more than planned, but on tentatively, the first week or so of May, I won't be going back and forth to Memphis. I'm going back over on Thursday, but no more of that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we've got the Crowley's Ridge Ham Fest coming up here this weekend. So
yeah.
I'm going to head up to that. So it's going to be a busy next 2 or 3 weeks for me, but then I go to Florida for a trip, and then Dayton's coming up. That's why the shirt. We're only a month away from Dayton,
Yeah. Well,
so
that'll be interesting again. We're going to do a little bit of webcasting of Dayton this year. Nothing.
yeah. And as you can see, I've got Rodan on the desk,
Yeah.
and then there's Sasquatch in his bed.
All right. Now you're flying up here this year, and
Yeah.
I assume you're flying home.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I win the grand prize, I'm going to have to pay some excess baggage.
Yeah. Don't worry. You won't win.
Oh, come on now.
You won't win.
Come on, give me some luck, Tom. You got it all. I mean, look what you
Yeah, I've
won
got
at
luck. Look, I've
FreeFest.
got luck. Look what I won. Look what I won at Memphis. Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's something.
I was a big winner. I was a big winner
you won
there.
more than I did.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do with this.
Well, it's an
Uh,
antenna winder, so for your POTA operations.
Man, do you think I can get very much wire on that? It looks pretty small. I mean,
Well, it's for POTA. Come on.
I guess I guess I can get a 20-meter antenna on there.
Yeah.
I don't do POTA, but
Oh, yeah.
anyway, hey. So yeah, I won. This is what my winning streak is getting down to now, guys. Right here.
Hey, at least you won something. I didn't
did.
win
I
anything.
won the very first prize there, and that's what it was, and then nothing else.
Yeah.
Zipped the rest of the day, man. So. Oh well.
But you got to admit, it was a fun time. I enjoy seeing all
Yeah.
my old Memphis friends and stuff going over there.
Yeah, it was okay. I thought it was a little bit. Well, I thought it was a little bit smaller. It looked a little smaller this year to me. Now,
Yeah, I don't think they had as many tables this year. They had that old back area set out for,
I was told it was the
coffee and
same
stuff.
size. I don't know.
yeah. There you go. Mark's offered to haul my Dayton win for me. So, yeah,
Yeah, he'll haul it over to his house.
probably. But, yeah,
Yeah.
hey, at least I got an offer.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's check and see what Brett's up to. Come on in here, Brett.
Yes. Well, I'm going to be going to Dayton, and I'm excited about that. I'm flying Southwest into Columbus specifically because that way, if I need an extra suitcase, I can haul it back. So if I do find some treasures there, I'll be able to do that. This week, I've been doing all sorts of outdoor work. Just got in a new kind of radio for wireless internet. One of these things here. This is a believe it or not, 1 gigabit wireless radio for terrestrial wireless internet. Doesn't have to go to a satellite, so it doesn't have to be as big as a satellite panel or a dish. And these are really cool. They're you install them, they go at least half a mile, and with a full gigabit, and then you get a little bit less bandwidth if you go farther. And they're pretty much trouble free. The people I've installed them for really like them. And so I did that. And on Palm Sunday, this last Sunday, I went to an electronics show in Denver. It's called Vintage, Voltage, and Vinyl. And I've got some video for that I can show later, about 4 minutes worth of video. They had beautiful old vintage radios there, but it wasn't just that. It was all sorts of stereo equipment, musical instruments, even toys and dolls. It was a pretty eclectic show. So I had a lot of fun with that down in Denver, and now I'm back up in Laramie, hanging more antennas and doing more work up here.
All right. Well, we've had a bunch of Hamfest the last couple of weeks. I don't know. I guess this is just the perfect time of the year for them. You got any more coming up real soon?
Um, I don't have any right away. There's going to be, toward the end of the summer, there's going to be a good one out near Brighton, Colorado, near the Denver airport.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the summer, things slow down a little. So there's not going to be too much right in my area. But I'll be going to Dayton. Hope to be able to also get out to Huntsville again this year. So I'll still have a busy year in terms of Hamfests.
Yeah, yeah, and of course we got the Dayton coming up, so that's a good one.
Oh yeah, Dayton is like overload, and I'm going to be there. They have the 4 days in May competition there. I think I might enter. They have a competition there, which is kind of interesting. The competition is to build the best transmitter you can that has only one active component in it, and that is a single digital logic chip. And it can't be it can't just be any. It can't be like a whole computer system on a chip. It has to be old-fashioned Jelly Bean TTL.
Hmm.
And so you need to make the best, strongest transmitter you possibly can out of any TTL chip. And I've been looking around and trying to figure out which chip might give me the most power and give me the best oscillator. So I'm still working on that. I'm going to see if I can have something ready for their competition.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'll tell
I think
you,
Han Sumner won that last year on the 2N2222 competition.
yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the chip number. Zactec. If you look up Zactec on their trackers, or no, their Whisper transmitter, they've got an amplifier with a chip, and basically, I don't know what chip it is, but it may have like 16 units inside, and they're all just series. You know what I'm talking about? And it just keeps adding and adding up. But you might look up Zactec Whisper trans kits, and it'll show you what chip they're using. It's an old chip like that, but that might be something you want to use too.
So how's that spelled?
Well, the competition
Zactec.
Zactec.
Zactech, Zactech.
Okay.
And let me see, I think I got one here. I think I've got one here. Yeah, Zactec Whisper transmitter. And let's see. Let's see what we got in here. Zactec Whisper transmitter. Of course, this is not the amp. Well, wait a minute. You know what? I don't know if that chip goes on this board or not. There's the board for the Zactec Whisper. Whoop, you can't see that. Let me do this. There we go. That's the board for the Zactec. And I think that chip for the amplifier must be external to this. Yeah. But look it up. Look up Zactec kits, and you'll see it. It's real interesting.
Yeah. It's just I'm not sure if that would qualify because it's probably not a TTL logic chip. But maybe,
Yeah, this contest.
This what?
This contest specifically states it has to be a 74 LS00, I believe. But
really?
it must be a 7400 period. That's all you can use.
Yeah. So
Just
it has
like
to be
last year, you could
7400.
only use.
When I showed you that board, did you guys see it or not?
little
No,
bit of
I
it.
didn't see it.
I mean, I don't think I switched the camera on. Let me go back again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here it is right here. Oh. All right,
Okay.
yeah, there's their little whisper transmitter, and it's just look it up and see what you think. You might have something, but if they
Well, do they have a standalone amp and would need the model number? Because I'm not coming up with it directly.
yeah, oh, we'll have to look and see. But anyway, there's probably
Yeah.
several out there that you can do.
Yeah. But anyway, the winner of the contest is the person who can generate the most power output. So I'm racking my brain. I used to work for Texas Instruments long ago. I'm racking my brain. Which oddball TTL part do they have that can produce the most power without blowing up?
It sounds
Well,
like
you
Glenn
have to do
says.
it.
It sounds like
You have
what?
to use the 7400.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can get you the exact rules. Give me a second.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm not going to enter, so I don't need a rule. Rules are made to be broken. Get you a really
Not in
high
this
power.
case.
Get you a high power chip and do a silk screen on top and put 7400 on top
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
As
No,
I remember, their
think
rules.
you'd get-
Yeah. Their
I
rules
mean,
didn't
you're
say
going
you
up
couldn't do
against
that.
him. Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
going
go
up
ahead.
against Han Sumner and Ashar Farhan, so they're going to catch you if you cheat.
Yeah, but
Oh.
yeah, I think you can beat them. Yeah.
I want to no. If I do it, I'm going to do it fair and square.
Yeah.
But as I remember, the
here's-
rules
I'm
say you can have as many passive components as you want. They
Correct.
consider diodes to be passive, but not transistors.
Must
So-
be crystal controlled
Oh, really?
Yeah.
within the 40 meter band. One or more section must be a crystal oscillator.
Okay. Now I need that. Hey, when you build that, I
Okay.
need that to match up my little small little radio I've got here. That's exactly what I need. I've got the crystal here. Glenn got me the crystal last week and oscillator.
Here's the
and-
rest of the rules.
Yeah.
You have to make the highest sustained power for a period of 1 minute using only a single 4000 or 7400 series logic IC. So you can use any of that group. No limit on passive components. No limit on diodes, inductors, resistors, capacitors, or transformers, but a single IC may be the only active device.
Yep.
And you're encouraged to use your own crystals, but they will have 70-30 kilohertz crystals available. No external frequency source may be used. Different logic families such as 74LS, 74HC, and 54HCT may be used.
Well,
0
I
to
am,
24 volts power supply. So it's
with
pretty
20
restrictive there.
Yeah, but with 24 volts, you can actually generate a fair amount of power. I understand their winner last year only got 1.5 watts out, and I think I could do better
Of a
than that. So I'm
2N
gonna try.
2222.
Yeah.
Last
I
year was
thought it
with the
was, it looks like
2222
fine.
transistor.
Oh, okay.
I was physically there last year. Yes, it was a 74. No, it was a 2N 2222A transistor,
Ah,
all right.
and many died along the way.
yes. Well, I think the rules say that you get a couple of tries and you can repair it in between tries if
Correct.
if your device blows up.
Yeah, you do get several tries. I didn't look at the exact number, but you get at least 2.
So, what was the limit on the voltage?
0 to 24.
Okay.
Keep in mind the chip is designed for 5 volts.
Yep.
I mean, I have some ideas on how to cool it. Does a Peltier chip qualify as an active device?
I don't know.
Just take you a gallon paint bucket up there and fill it full of oil and just drop it down in it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Well, you'd have a kilowatt, you can run a kilowatt.
That's passive. That'd be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to remember, going up against some very smart people as well.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But I think I'll give it a try. It could be fun, and it'll give me a chance to dig through my junk box and see what I have that might possibly generate enough power to be a contender.
Yeah, and the Peltier cooler won't work. It's a solid state active heat pump.
Okay.
So that word active is going to lock you out. So that would ruin my design.
I bought a couple of those here to experiment with and possibly even fly, on a balloon. Use the heat side to heat up a battery or something. But man,
Right.
that sucker will burn you on one side. Let me tell you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got a heat sink it just
The thing about Peltier coolers is that they're not very efficient. It'd probably draw more current than you'd want.
Yeah.
But
All right.
anyway, that's
Well, we're not
that's what I had
concerned
planned
about
for,
current.
All right,
Well, you
current's
gotta
not an
you gotta
option.
get current. You got to get current in order to get power output, and the more current you can
Right.
sink at the same voltage, the more power you get. So
Yeah.
because it's P equals VI, so
Right.
it doesn't
But what
matter.
I'm saying, there's no limit on those pieces of the only thing is the chip must survive. Basic,
Has to
it
be
must
able to work for a
survive
minute.
and work for a minute and be the only active component in the circuit.
All right. Well, let us know how that goes, and we may use your transmitter to match up with our little miniature receiver here, and we'll make a contact with it on
okay.
CW. All right. Let's see what we got going here.
And remember, one element of the chip has
Yeah.
to be the oscillator.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. But the oscillate. Well, anything that's producing power. Well, there's a lot of TTL that can do that.
Yeah, but it was called out in the rules that the chip has to be the crystal oscillator.
Well,
Yeah. Well, if you put an inverter across a crystal, it actually that's probably enough right there.
Probably, yes. It's a fun little competition they do, and they get some really high power. I mean, that 2N22, they were cooking that thing.
Yeah. Did a lot of them pop?
Yes.
well, one of our balloons we flew this last year, I built up a little 2N222 amp for it. I think we ran 100 milliwatts on that flight. I think it was up 250 days.
Yeah. I think a 2N2222 can sink a quarter of an amp
Maybe.
and not blow up.
Says 600 mils here. Power dissipation is 0.625 watts.
Well, if you slap a heat sink on there, you can probably do more.
Okay, and doesn't give a voltage probably because probably have a wide range.
40. So your max voltage is 24. So 24 at 6 mils or 600 mils is your max. So it's
Okay.
0.6 times 24, which is
That's pretty good.
1.44. No,
It's about
0.6 times
144.
24.
No, it's about 15.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's 14.4 exactly.
So that's what the DC collector current and the collector emitter voltage will do, but the power dissipation is 0.625 watts.
Oh,
All right. Now, hey, Brett, did you say you had a video of of a ham
Yeah, I
fest?
did. I have a video of the Vintage Voltage show
Oh,
showing
okay.
some of the things that they had there. I don't have everything, but I can. But definitely some interesting vintage electronics and some antique radios.
Why don't
So
we
would you
ju-
like me to show
why,
that?
why don't we look at it? Yeah, let's look at it.
Okay, here goes. Let's start the video. You can already see there some tube testers where
Wow.
they had a huge array of tube testers there of different vintages, and then under the table, I had to keep on looking under the tables. They had things like old record players, which are really interesting. Old 8 millimeter projectors.
Mm-hmm.
They even had sound, which I thought was pretty impressive. Lots of stereo. That Kenwood I have in my living room. It's a beautiful old amplifier. Works great to this day. You can see they mixed the hand and the test right up, and with the old vinyl, it was quite a potpourri there. And again, and you look at the tables because that's where you find the real treasures. Go. Here's some more ham gear. It's a nice Hammerlund receiver there. More tube testers. There are a lot of things with tubes in them. And this radio really caught my eye. I'm going to back up a little so you can get a picture of the horn speaker on it. This is really impressive. More test equipment, more stereo stuff. So they really had everything there. Power supplies. Here's a nice old radio. This, believe it or not, is a telephone. And I thought that was kind of interesting. They set it up to look they set it up to look really cool, and like it was supposed to be portable field telephone in a box, but it really wasn't meant to go anywhere. It was meant to sit on your desk and look cool. And apparently, you see that they have the help wanted sign. Apparently, they're looking for people to repair this stuff because that knowledge is in short supply. Reel-to-reel tape recorders. And again, that
Wow.
there's good money to be made repairing things. Oscilloscopes, more test gear. And this I found interesting. Have old-fashioned substitution boxes of various kinds, including ones like this. This is a capacitor substitution box where you actually had pegs that you inserted to connect them in parallel.
That's cool.
Digital oscilloscopes. More test gear. Solar panels. They have complete solar systems there. And again, antique radios. Lots of them. So here are the old Bakelite ones. Some of them are all American 5s. And there were a couple of these beauties, these old wooden sort of, Gothic church window type radios. These fetch an amazing amount of money. These are collector's items worth. If you find one of these in an attic, these fetch more than $1,000 in good condition.
Wow.
Now this was an interesting radio. They called it the Town Crier, and it was in the shape of a lantern. And apparently the fellow who owned this one restored it, and it was working. But it's a tube radio in there. More test gear. A/B switches for computers and monitors. You always see monitors at these shows, and people are going, please, please take them.
Exactly. I
each.
couldn't get rid of mine.
Yep. All sorts of components here, sort of a random assortment. I was looking through his TTL, and then they have musical instruments, a whole section of guitars.
Wow.
Custom guitars, amplifiers for the guitars, and then they had dolls. And the dolls were really impressive. A lot of them were collector's items. And toys. So this wasn't just an electronics show. They had more dolls and more dolls and all sorts of collectibles. My Little Pony and all sorts of board games and other kind of games. Things like Kerplunk. Remember that one? The game,
Oh
the
yeah.
game where yeah, it was sort of like Jenga, but in reverse. It you put marbles at the top and they fell when you pulled out too many straws. Pretty much any game you might remember, and again more like stuff, including some really interesting radios. Yes, that little commode-shaped thing up there in the picture there is a transistor radio. Believe it or not. And more antique gears, antique clock radio, crystal set, sorts of things with them. So that
Wow.
was pretty much, that was the show, and I just had a lot of fun there. There was just a lot of things there that brought back memories, a lot of things that were just really cool old tech. So I had a lot of fun. I bought an early bird ticket to get in before the crowds, and I stayed for several hours and had a lot of fun conversations with people there. There were, the usual grizzled old Elmers there telling you stories about the equipment, and so it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was some cool stuff.
And no, it's not all ham gear, but it's all interesting to a ham because you know what makes it tick.
Absolutely. What are you doing, Tom? You don't have audio.
Does
Yeah,
Tom
I
not
do.
have audio?
Yeah, I do.
Ross?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, there you
I
go.
didn't want you guys to hear me rumbling through my junk box here. I was going to try to find while you were doing it. I was going to try to find you that chip that Zactec uses. One thing,
Okay.
hey, one thing here. I bought the Zactec. They got a little transformer. You see, I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
This transformer matches that chip to 50 ohms.
Oh, cool.
So you might consider when you build your deal. I mean, matching probably will play an important role also in maximum output.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to. I assume they're going to feed you into a dummy load, and so
Correct.
and then measure your power, and so your impedance ought to be 50 ohms coming out of the thing, and I guess you can match that with a transformer. What's the primary on that transformer? What's the
Well, I
impedance?
don't know. We'll just need to pull a diagram up and look at it, the schematic. I've got 3 of the transformers here. I was going to try to fly these, build up an amplifier and fly them, but it's going to take me a while to find it. Well, anyway, hey, that was an interesting exhibit you went to there. They had a little bit of everything in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
yep. And there were things that if you brought the YL that she could go off and look at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, look, all right, let's take a quick break in. We're going to come back, and I've got some video of FreeFest in Memphis, and we got a bunch of other things going here, so we'll be back in just a minute. ICOM's amateur radios are the gold standard for ham radio enthusiasts, combining cutting-edge technology, unmatched reliability, and user-friendly design. Whether you're chasing DX, experimenting with digital modes, or laying a local net, ICOM radios deliver crystal clear performance and seamless connectivity. ICOM's IC7760 is the pinnacle of the base station excellence for amateur radio enthusiasts. Designed to deliver unmatched performance, the IC7760 features state-of-the-art technology, exceptional RF clarity, and an intuitive interface, all housed in a sleek and durable design. The base station features a separate remote control head and RF deck, providing enhanced flexibility for installation. Place the RF deck closer to the antenna feed point, freeing up space on your desk. You can also connect the control head to the RF deck through your home network, enabling remote operation from just about anywhere in your home without needing a PC. For more information about ICOM's amateur radios, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, let's talk about FreeFest. Glenn and I were at FreeFest, and Glenn, you didn't win anything, right?
Nope, not a thing.
And you know what? You might as well consider me not winning anything, you know.
Yeah,
And,
but hey, at least they pulled your name.
boy, I tell you, I mean, even at Corinth last week, nothing, man. We didn't even, our name wasn't even put. Did you win? You won something, right?
No, I've been on a dry streak.
Man, I have too.
For a while now.
They didn't even call our name the entire day, man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, guys, we're going to show you Memphis FreeFest. And Memphis FreeFest is exactly what it says. It's free. It's for Le Bonheur Hospital. All the proceeds go to the Children's Hospital. It's free. You get a free table. You get a free ticket that goes in the barrel to try to win. And maybe you win something. They don't have like really great big prizes, but they have some decent prizes. Things like iPads, and they had like 55-inch TV and iPads and things like that, you know.
Well, they gave away an ICOM rig at the end of the day.
Did they? I didn't
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's do this. Let's look at FreeFest, and you guys just chime in, and Glenn, you just yell if you see something. I'm going to leave the audio like it is unless it gets too loud. I'll turn it down, but here we go.
Fold it up. To deploy it, all you do is...
Let me back this up. All right, we're at FreeFest here in Memphis, or out in Bartlett, Tennessee. It looks a little smaller this year, but, there's still quite a bit going on here. And I'm here at the booth, and what do we got here? This is a 2-meter foldable...
Folding ground plane antenna. So this is a full-size 2-meter antenna, but it's folded up. To deploy it, all you do is unfold the radiator, slide down the arms, open the ground plane.
Well, look at that.
That's it.
That's kind of cool.
Yep. It's got a BNC connector. It's fully potted in there, so it's weatherproof.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you just reverse the process. Back in your bag it goes.
Hold it back up. Now, is that you got metal in there, right?
Fiberglass.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you got one up on your mast right there. Cool. All right. Well, very good. I like it.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. Now, Glenn, these are sonar. I'm kind of familiar with the name, and I remember seeing these back when I got my license, but I don't think they're ham, are they? Do you know anything about these?
No, they're commercial.
Yeah, those look like fish finders.
Fish finders?
Yeah,
that would make sense.
It's sonar for a boat. So you can see where the bottom is, but you can also, if you see little flickers on it, there's a school of fish in there.
Well, the one in the center is a linear amp, and the one on the bottom says channel. Maybe these are marine radios.
I'm looking at the radio there. The one there at the middle might be a fish finder. I don't know.
Well, no, it says linear amp right above the
it?
tape.
Okay, it's a linear amp then. Okay, well, again, I don't know. The name kind of was interesting. I do remember these, but I never had any experience with them. What is that? Power supply, I guess. Yeah.
Looks just like
that's
an
a
ordinary
regulated
power supply.
That's a B&K power supply. You got a voltmeter and amp meter. That's pretty cool.
LGD meters. And Nikon 7300.
Now I looked for a metric 10, but I didn't see one.
Yeah, I was going to say you're not going to find a 10 millimeter in that pile. That's why that pile is there.
Yeah, I was really hoping to find a 10.
Yeah. If I'm looking for sockets, you know where I look? Pawn shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it all with you.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a picture tube Chester, Glenn. There, not many people
Yeah.
have picture tubes anymore.
I was just going to say, where did, yeah.
Now that's good right there for ham radio outings.
Oh, yeah. That's cast iron, man.
He wanted some big bucks for that too. He wanted more for that than radio stuff.
Just get rid of the GPS location. Get rid of all the GPS data on it so they can't find out where I am. All those pictures you take got GPS locator data on them.
Stuff will pop up and I don't know where it is. Thanks for helping.
I'll send you the bill. You can buy breakfast next time.
Everything is got back.
Now, Glenn, I think I know the reason that we didn't win. It may be coming up here in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the reason we didn't win.
No, everything's fine.
And they hand wrote them too. They don't have a stamp like we do. But the one good thing about this is every one of those tickets, the profits or the proceeds from those ticket sales went to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital.
That's a good thing.
And all of the concession stand went to the Le Bonheur as well. That's what this whole event is for benefiting Le Bonheur.
When I first saw those, I thought those were transformers right there, but they were battery
No.
packs that were built
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah,
Homemade battery packs.
They're lithium packs.
Hello, doing good. Hey, Glenn. Say hi, Glenn. How you like that soldering iron? That's a repeater controller that this guy builds. Pretty good price at $50.
Yeah, now I do have to say this was one of the few ham fests I've been to recently that had a lot of good parts at decent prices.
Mm-hmm. Marshall always takes a lot of pictures and he puts them on that screen.
Yeah.
Hello there, Mr.
Hello. How you doing?
He did sell everything or give away everything on his table, including that free brick right there.
Now here's a good table coming up right here.
Yeah, good table, but you know, nobody took a whole lot of that stuff. You know, Brett, there's the monitor that I couldn't get rid of for $5.
Yep.
But I actually did sell that RS-232 breakout box.
Did the hat sell?
No. No, a lot of people came by, pointed at it, laughed, and said, what a jerk.
There's my GMRS antenna I'm trying to sell right there. That's the third Hamfest nobody's bought it.
Big power pole.
Yeah.
Got a Americana amp coming up there.
Yeah, that Heath amp looked really nice.
Yeah. That's a 572 there. It's got four
Yeah.
572s in it.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Oh, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name, was there from ICOM.
I saw Ray Novak there. He talked to me.
That's it, Ray Novak.
Oh, Ray. Yes.
Yeah, he was there this
Wait a
weekend.
minute. I think this does it now.
You talked to him.
I saw him in Corinth. He was at Corinth. I don't think.
No,
I saw
he
him
was.
here.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
These ham fests are running together for
I
me.
know.
And let me tell you, those concession hamburgers were not bad. They grilled them out
All right,
back
guys,
there.
You gotta say hi. You gotta say hi there. That's some of the Memphis guys there, our 220 friends. That in that box right there, all those boxes is one antenna, some beam. I think it's a $1,400 beam. He was trying to sell it for like
Yeah.
$400.
There's a TH11.
I think maybe it's
Really
a
nice beam.
$1,700 antenna. He's trying to get $400 for it.
Yeah, and it was still there at the end of
Now
the
look
show.
at his belt. I'm not sure I'd want that climbing belt.
I'm not sure I'd trust that thing.
The leather looks a little dry.
Yeah, just a hair.
Astron power supplies. I swear by those.
You know, one thing on, I've got an Astron like that with the meters in the front. It's the 35M or something, RS35M.
Yeah.
But one thing about it,
Gentlemen,
if you start having problems with it,
next weekend, Swap Fest on the Ridge. Please come.
Yeah.
if you
There's
start
our
having
Crowley's Ridge
problems-
folks.
If you start having problems with your Astron power supply, tighten the screws up on the pass transmissions in
Everything
the
is
back.
free. Free food.
Those screws
we
get
have
loose.
soft drinks there.
And it doesn't make good connection.
Free tailgating.
Yeah, I've got a story on an Astron I'll tell you after
Rains, we're in the
this.
pavilion. And we're also.
Yeah.
if you
Astrons
don't take
start
your
to hum
4-hour
when they
wait,
get
black
old.
light,
Yep.
We are doing a transmitter hunt
Fix them up.
that
Okay.
weekend.
Cool.
It'll be our first, and we're really trying to promote that. So if you can promote our fox hunt or transmitter hunt, whatever your direction finding, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be fun. A lot of fun. It's our first.
Look at the mountain of tickets he's got and the bribe money, Tom.
Broadcast
yeah.
live from up there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We might do it.
All right.
All right, man.
Cable modem. Hardline, but no connectors.
My friend Rick here sold 100 foot of hard line with connectors on it. It was there at the table. In fact, I was using it with the GMRS antenna, and I took it down. How's sales going?
Not too bad.
Good, good.
Waiting for you to buy it all.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
He never came back.
This is Steve here in Memphis. Steve is the one that when we did the high altitude balloon chase, Steve chased it in his airplane. We've got a video on that.
That's also Keith from the Hernando Club as well. Little pricey on that bencher.
A little pricey on that straight key.
Yeah.
And that's a plastic one too, so.
These were estate sales from the Memphis Club. There's Bobby in the yellow shirt. He's the one that took my tower down. And Richard there was next to him, KF50IM.
Yep. There's the MFJ
That's a
998.
demo unit.
Everything on this table was marked demo. I don't know why.
This is the Fat Cat gentleman that was in Corinth last week as
Yeah.
well, and he apparently buys a lot of surplus.
Yeah.
So now that MFJ remote tuner, 926B, how much power can that handle?
That one, the one that had the clear cover,
Yeah.
I think that was 200 and something watts.
Yep, there's Dave Norris waving in the green shirt.
Let's let me see. That's the 1.5 kilowatt there. The 962B,
200.
is it 200 watts?
Yep, 200 watts.
Yeah, 200 watts remote automatic tuner.
Yeah, yeah. Say hello to everybody.
Yeah, but
on the
there's
show tonight.
there's Dave.
Hello on the show tonight.
With the ARL booth. Yeah.
We're all here. Dr. Tom, Dave, Ed, the whole crew.
All right.
Yep, we'll probably see Dave again there this weekend in Crowley's Ridge. This is one of the biggest nets in the Memphis area. It's a Simplex 5.2 net called the Bullfrog net.
This is a good price here on this. This is a VHF UHF radio right here. He only wanted,
Yeah, I had one.
he only wanted what, 150 bucks for it.
That's a dynamite price on that rig because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a satellite capable
He
transceiver.
had two of them.
Yeah. And that's a good rig. I had one for a while. Sold mine to Dave
Yeah.
Dave Ingram.
High voltage for the high voltage tester. That's what we used in a TV shop to. So what's the price of these? Check the high voltage. 150. Well, looks like a good
2
deal.
meters and 440 in them.
Yeah, is that all they are?
Yeah, if you wanted to do satellite, those are the rigs to get.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they will do so like this is 736R. It's got 6 meters, 2 meter, 220, and 440 in it. And
Man, that had all 4 stacks in
Yeah.
there. That's amazing.
Cool.
Wow.
You know, you go on eBay, you won't find none even for parts only less than $200, $250.
Are they working?
Yeah, you're not going to find those 220 modules very often.
Next round, you just start adding to the bottom. It's like an oil rig. And,
Darn it, I didn't see those masks when I was there. I would have bought them.
guy wire. Yeah, like that.
They were gone by the time I got around there.
Well, those are dog insulators instead of dog bone.
Yeah. There might be somebody over here.
Another transoceanic.
Yeah.
That looks like the battery powered model.
Good to see you.
Put me on my 15-minute break.
You're on your 15-minute break, huh? All right. I saw some of this last week down in Corinth.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that 111 was there.
This guy, this SX 111 works perfect.
Pretty radio.
That was actually the first receiver I used at the school ham club.
Yep, ham band
Yep.
only.
Ham band on.
I got my license in 1964, and I had a Helicrafters, all band only. It had an 80 through 6 on it. It was a nice SX 140. It was about this size.
Those are good looking. He had a really large one of those that rotated, was Bluetooth connected to your phone, and would show pictures off of your phone in the rotating LEDs. Wanted $100 for it though, a little too pricey for me.
What kind of tester is that?
It's a Motorola portable test set.
Yeah, test set for two-way.
Oh, for radios. Okay, I wasn't sure what it tested. High power linear amplifier.
Yeah, that would probably been a good price. It didn't work. I don't know what was wrong with it. He said that was sold by DX Engineering.
Huh.
Huh.
this guy makes those antennas, and those are pretty good. But yeah, I want to say, Tom, last year they had that area where all the tables were was filled with swap tables instead of eating tables.
Yeah.
So a little shrunk down this year. There's your blinding light and taser guy.
There's the hot dog hamburger stand.
There's that TH11 again.
All right, we're at FreeFest here in Memphis. All right.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go to this shot right here. There we go. We'll play with that for a little while.
Let's see which way
Let's
I
see.
need
Wait,
to slide.
we'll go with this one. That's all right. We'll go with that one.
Okay,
like
because
that
I was
better.
going to say I can slide.
Yeah, I like this better. All right, well, that was Memphis FreeFest, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you were out there listening on shortwave, you probably didn't know what we were doing, but that was a walk around at the Memphis Hamfest called FreeFest, and we were just admiring some of the equipment there. You know, I did get one thing there. Let me show it to you. Let me see if I can show it to you here, man. Be surprised. All I got to do is find the right camera. Let's see. There it is. Look at there. Look at there what I got. I got my ping pong book. What do you think?
Your what?
Can't see it.
Ping pong book.
Can't see it.
Oh.
You didn't switch cameras.
Oh. There you go. There you go. Let me turn it. There we
Oh,
go.
Lord.
My ping pong book right there.
What in the world is that?
Ping pong.
Has samples of ping pong, whatever
Ping
that
pong.
is.
Look.
Oh, there
I'm
you go.
still as clueless as I was.
Surface mount.
Oh, those are tapes with surface mount parts.
These are samples for surface mount. Every value.
Oh, wow.
Every value that's out there. You know, I've got the book here. So, I thought that's pretty neat, man. My ping pong sample book. Didn't cost me anything. It was free. It was free.
Oh, cool. Well, that's even better.
This guy, every Hemfest, he gives me something free when I walk by.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He was
said-
at
he
Corinth
says-
as well.
He said, nobody else has ever looked at that before. You can have it.
I actually looked at it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it for what it was.
So I got my ping pong book here. Here's my big prize that I walked away with, guys. And they kept announcing it. This is the Tennessee 07. I don't know if that's what that means, you know.
No, that's the name of the company, TN07.
Yeah, TN, but they kept saying Tennessee 07. I'm not sure that's how they
That may be
identify
where
it.
they're based in. I think they're in East Tennessee.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, I got that. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. Maybe use it for an ice scraper. You know, maybe an
If
ice
you're going to do
scraper.
POTA, wrap your antenna up with
Maybe an
that and
ice
throw it in the
scraper on
bag.
my window. I don't think the curvature is right for the
The
my
curve's
truck
not going to
window.
work.
And look, I also came out with a DX Engineering catalog.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been looking through this tonight. I'm going to buy some ham radio, something. I can't find anything in this entire catalog to buy. I can't find anything.
Well, that's because every picture you go at, got it, don't need it, got it.
You know, I can't, nothing, man. Nothing. Oh, well. Anyway, okay. Well, hey,
I
guys.
have a project.
Let's talk about, again, I promised everybody, I'm not going to be able to make it to the Crowley's Ridge swap meet This weekend is actually Easter weekend, and we have a million things planned with all kinds of family here. The weekend is just packed. But I wanted to give them a plug anyway. Guys, if you're near Curtis Ridge, Paragould, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, go to the 3rd annual Swap Fest. It's outside in the park. It's a swap meet. It's free. And I think they're going to have food there. And probably a good time. It's just a one day only. It's April 19th, and I think it's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're in that area or you want to drive maybe a half hour or hour, it'd probably be a good little get together. Hopefully the weather will hold up, and check it out.
Yeah, I'll be there, and it does say food is available on the front there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, Curtis Ridge State Park, Pavilion number 3. I don't think you'll miss it. You get to State Park and you're going to see a bunch of antennas, so I think you'll find it.
Oh yeah.
Right there. Yeah, you'll find it. All right, let's see. Let's just check our list off here. We done that. Oh, what time's it getting to be? Okay. Guys, we're going to get, for the Arkansas River Valley Amateur Radio Foundation. If you remember, Glenn and I went to their Hamfest a couple weeks ago, and I launched a balloon for them. See if we could make it around the world with the balloon for them, and we only made it to Kazakhstan, and we lost it after Kazakhstan. So I've got another one ready. I don't know if they got some hex on this club over or not, Glenn, but, the weather was bad. We couldn't launch, and we launched, and then we got over Ukraine, and we had GPS jamming, and all that mess went on for 2 or 3 days, and then we lost it over Kazakhstan. So I built up another one, and then if you remember 2 weeks ago, we had a major storm come through Arkansas and Tennessee. Well, we got one big lightning bolt that the entire city saw here that also took out the tracker. It zapped the tracker.
Oh, wow.
I just happened to have the tracker hooked to a full wave 40 meter quad out in the backyard, and that lightning hit almost in the backyard. So you can see how it came in. So I took that out, and then I built up another one, and I was having trouble with the solar panels. The solar cells, and I have found that these Chinese solar cells, the quality is not great. And if you don't check every one of them out, you're going to find that some of them just don't do. Some of the cells don't do very well. You might check each one of them, and they're supposed to be 0.5 volts each. You may have 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and then you got a 0.2. Oh man! So anyway, I already had those glued down, so I said, okay, I'll just build another solar panel for it. So it's been a complete rebuild everything. Now final stages, I'm working on the balloon, and the balloons, they're very delicate balloons, and they're only 1/1000th of an inch thick, and you got to really handle them very carefully. And so what we do, we inflate them and we stretch them to take the folds out, because these things are kind of folded and they're stuck together. And we like to get them blown up, because if they're cold and they're not stretched out, if they're cold and they go up in the -40, they may not want to open up good. So, we open up all the seams and we stretch them. And we kind of let it sit there with a little pressure to kind of stretch out, and then it's gonna reach its maximum pressure. And then that's where we measure the circumference. And once you measure the circumference, then you can actually know what the volume is in cubic meters. You can put that in our spreadsheet, and then our spreadsheet tells us how high it's going to fly and how much gas to put in, how much free lift we're going to have, and so forth. But these Yokohama balloons that we're flying, the filler point is so small that you can't even put a straw hardly up in there. And I had a little piece of plastic tubing that I had slid up in there where we're filling the balloon. Well, the self-sealer and the plastic tube didn't agree because I couldn't get the plastic tube out of the filler hole. It just would not come out. I don't care how hard. So as I was pulling on it, it's wrinkling up everything in there for the self-sealer and all that mess. And it's just bad. So I thought, okay, I probably have damaged it down here. I've stretched it and pulled on it and everything, and we really don't want to fly it. So I said, let's sacrifice this balloon. Let's sacrifice it, and maybe we'll learn something. And I hate sacrificing those balloons because those Yokohamas, you can't buy them anywhere. I ordered them from Japan. I think I got a dozen. I think a dozen were about probably about $140 for a dozen, but I had to pay $140 on top of that for shipping. Okay, so they're a little expensive, but anyway. So I said, let's sacrifice this balloon and learn something. The main thing I wanted to, there was two things. I wanted to see with my homemade manometer. You've seen that on some of my videos where it's got the U-shaped plastic and the colored water in it, where you measure the rise in inches of water, and that relates to PSI, or pressure. And that way we can measure the pressure that we have in a balloon. So I wanted to see about what pressure this thing's going to explode. And also, we have been trying, everybody has been trying for the past year to find some kind of glue or adhesive that will stick to this material. Nothing will stick to this material, nothing. You can put adhesive in there, the stickiest stuff you want. And I've done a bunch of test strips here. After the balloon exploded, now I had plenty of test strips, right? I can try to glue together. So, man, I've used super glue, I've used adhesive, I've used everything. And nothing will really stick together. So I needed the material to do my glue testing. And also I wanted to pop it and see where it popped. So I did a little video here. And I'm going to run it right now, and you can see me stretching the balloon out, stretching all the wrinkles out and the seams. And at one point, I think at the 4-minute point, we have a small explosion. Wasn't too bad, but a small explosion. So I'm gonna play that right now. I think. All right, here we go. To seal it when I get the hydrogen in. Now, I've never popped one of these, but we're going to take it all the way up till it explodes. We're going to pop this balloon, but in the meantime, as we're inflating it, we're going to actually do another test. We're going to take it to its limit, and we're going to see what pressure it can withstand. You guys that have watched other videos know that on the wall right there I have a manometer. It's got the colored water in it, and it measures inches of water. And inches of water directly converts into PSI. So I'm going to be putting a little air in, checking the water level or PSI, making a note here. Also, I've got a string. I'm checking the circumference. Right now, we're up to around 107 inches in circumference. That's about 0.33 cubic meters. At some point, it has to stop expanding, and at that point, if we keep putting pressure in it, we're gonna explode it. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna keep going here. I did put some safety glasses on. All right, get a little air in here. It's going to be a surprise probably when it pops. The filler tube is about 1/8 inch. It's a very small filler tube here. So the air is going in very slow. Let's see what we got on pressure. Well, there's 7 inches. 7 inches of water rise, so 7 inches is about probably about about a quarter, about 0.25 psi. So we're going to take it on up. I expect this balloon to go up in pressure to at least 0.380, maybe 0.400. So we got a ways to go. I pretty much damaged the filler port. The reason I decided to sacrifice this balloon is I think I've damaged the self-sealer here on the filler port, and I can't trust it if we fly it. So there is an advantage to popping it. We're going to see how big it will get, and we'll also be able to test the material with various glue. All right, let's get pressure here. All right, we're at 7.5 psi, 7.5 inches of water, and that is about 0.25. So here we go. A little bit more air. We're just using air, not hydrogen, just air for testing. Okay, guys, let's get the pop's
Normally we
coming
use
up.
air to expand it, get all the wrinkles out, to make sure it doesn't have any holes in it or leaks. Then we'll suck all the air back out, and then we'll put the hydrogen back in, or we'll put hydrogen in, hydrogen or helium. Let's see what we got here.
I think we damaged the port there, and it's going to pop a lot sooner than the balloon has been tested.
Well, we're not getting much in here.
All right, watch
Not
it.
sure
Watch
why.
Here we go. Watch those.
Oof.
All right. Well, you saw it right there at All
about
right. You'll see.
7.5.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it one more time here. Let's look at it one more time.
Well,
Here we go. Here we go.
all right. Well, you saw it right there at about 7.5. We saw it. All right. Well, you saw it right there at about 7.5. We exploded, and that's not much. That's about 0.25 inches of water, or 0.25 psi. 7.5 inches of water at about 107 inches in circumference. So that was a surprise. I thought it was going to go much longer. So here we go. At least now I will have some material to test various adhesives on. And so, you know, we haven't just completely lost it. So there you go.
All right. So I got me some material to play with now. So, out of all the troubles we had trying to get ready this next flight, I've just about got it ready with the trackers ready. It's been working day and night here, and I've got another balloon out there we have inflated. My next step is to suck the air out. I got to get all that air out. We'll use a shop vac on that little bitty 1/8 inch hose, and it'll suck a vacuum in it, basically in that balloon to get all the air out. Once we do that, we're ready to fill it with hydrogen. We will then put hydrogen in the balloon, and I think we're going to experiment with a little less free lift this time. We normally run about 6 grams of free lift hydrogen. I think we're going to run maybe 5 grams of free lift on this flight, and see what our results are. So anyway, that's our story, and we're sticking to it there. We're gonna.
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any ideas on the adhesives that might work?
Man, I have tried everything. I've tried the stuff. I've gotten a can out there with a brush on it. Like you'd
Yeah.
put down linoleum or stuff. Or I've tried 3M spray adhesive. I've tried. I've got some special glue I ordered, some kind of secret code on it, N9000. That don't work. I've tried
Have you
about
tried
everything.
silicone adhesive?
What was that?
Have you tried silicone adhesive?
silicone.
like our
Well,
TV.
you know,
Well, no, there are other kinds of silicone glue that come in a bottle. They look like wood. The bottle looks like a kind of the bottle from wood glue.
really. I've got something here, an adhesive that's clear, but it doesn't harden hard. It's kind of flexible, you know. But I've tried a lot of different things. We've tried so many different things. Um,
And something you have to remember is at the cold of 40 something thousand feet, will it remain flexible and
yeah,
adhesive?
this seemed to do the best for me. The tough elastic sealant for every job sticks to almost. The key word here is almost. Sticks to almost everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now it stuck, kinda. I mean, it stuck, but you know, after a day and a half, you can still pull it apart. Now here's some special stuff. I was told this right here. You know, if you get a tank, a tread that broke on a tank, just use this and it'll glue it together. This is some B7000, man. I ordered some B7000. I don't know, it didn't work. So tried a lot of things. We're still experimenting. Now, one thing that I can do is we do a heat seal. Now, I've got, the heat sealing iron that you heat up and you rub across it, or I've got the heat sealer where you put the material in there and you press the handle down and it's timed, and after whatever seconds you get it set for, it'll turn off and it will seal. Now, the other thing about this material, it does heat seal very good, but you saw it bust there. You've got to have the two pieces of material turned the same way. Obviously, it's got some kind of coating on one side where the heat seal will seal. If you try to seal it on the other side, it won't seal at all. It won't even stick. So anyway, what do you got there? Looking at it.
Well, you want something that's not that's gonna be able to resist cold, and silicone
Yeah.
is good at that.
Yeah.
They have silicone glues like this. It's kind of a silicone super glue.
Yeah.
It might be what you need. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know either.
I can't tell for sure, but this is one that I would try.
Man, I need a magnifying glass to look at the specs on this one.
Is that E6000? I can't
Oh,
see.
this
Is that a
is the
focus?
B7000 right here.
Oh,
I don't know. Waterproof, low odor, shock resistant, strong, tough. I'll look into that. What I'll probably do
this
is
is
do.
one I can't guarantee, but you might try
Yeah.
it.
What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to, the balloon has a auto self sealer inside, and basically what it is it's if you run a straw up through there, it's open, but it's like a flap. The air goes through the flap, it opens, it goes through the flap into the balloon, and then when you stop putting air in, this flap collapses like this, and then nothing can come back out. And it does fairly good job.
It's a backflow preventer kind of a valve.
Yeah, it'll collapse, and it looks like it seals pretty good. I just don't trust it that much up there. Also, what I think I can do, not very much, probably less, about a half-inch sticks out from the balloon. I can barely get to the edge of it. I think I can do a heat seal right across, below the body of the balloon, right where the filler tube goes into the balloon. I think I can get a heat seal across there. and that'll be the best seal. I mean, I practice with the heat sealer out there, and boy, in a second and a half, I can put a seal across this material, and you cannot pull it apart. I mean, it's solid. So I just don't have much there to get to put a heat seal across. It'd be cool if I could get inside a balloon and seal across that collapsible flap here. All right, guys, this weekend I hope to launch 119, w5kub-119. You can go to our website at w5kub.com, click on balloon in the top menu, w5kub.com, balloon in the top menu, and you'll have tracking for w5kub-119. We're hoping, I'm thinking it'll go around the world, maybe many times. And we're going to try to launch right at 9 a.m., 9 o'clock Central Time. So if you want to follow it up, that's the most critical part as it goes up. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to go from the ground to float. And we're going to float at about 45,000 feet. So if you want to watch and track it as it goes up, go to w5kub.com, click on balloon, and you'll see it there. 9 o'clock this Saturday. All right. I think we've covered everything tonight. Anybody got any last minute things they'd like to say or do?
Well, hopefully, if I get the house sold, that means we were talking in the pre-show. That means I get to find my crank-up tilt-over tower for the new place.
That's right.
So hopefully, maybe they'll have some tower sections there at Crowley's Ridge.
They might.
Yeah, they had some in Memphis, but no crank-up tilt-over sections.
Right.
I need that base.
All right. Well, guys, if you've been listening out there on WBCQ shortwave radio, you've been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, electronics, shortwave. We're glad we had you with us tonight. Join us on Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time on w5kub.com. That's the easiest place to find us. Just go to w5kub.com and click the little yellow button up there that says Video and Chat, and you'll see us there. And we got a chat room. You can join us there. All right, Mark, thank you for the good luck comments there on our flight. And Glenn, good for you two closing there. Anything else? Let's see.
Well, it ain't done yet, but it's looking good now.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So,
everyone have a happy Easter or whatever you celebrate, Passover, whatever you celebrate at this time of year. Don't eat too many bunny ears or peeps.
Oh, God, I love those things.
All right, guys. All right, 73s. We will we'll see you guys probably in about a week here.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hey Tom, I just wanted to let you know that when we get our mission to Mars going, I want to schedule you and your show to be the first to communicate with us in space. By the way, I never miss an episode of Amateur Radio Roundtable on Tuesdays nights on w5kub.com.